Did you see that plane crash the other day in Japan? Totally wild. I mean, for sure, many, many people would die in such a mishap, right? No, that plane right there, the Japan Airlines, what was it, an A350? Everybody made it about okay. We're told it was very organized. Yeah, the plane was on fire, but people kept their cool, didn't grab for their bags. That's something that folks sometimes do. It's a big mistake. And everybody made it out of that plane alive. Now, unfortunately, the plane they collided with, all 5 crew members died on that plane. But wow, right? People, the aviation community is like, this is awesome and very, very rare.
Hat off to the flight crew that obviously did a very successful evacuation. I'm actually stunned that everybody got off that Airbus A350 alive. It's amazing when you see it.
This one was very organized, very calm. I mean, and we've all seen others where it's not calm. They're screaming, where people are getting baggage. They are not here. They're following the rules and getting off that plane.
So, great. Totally great. And I got to thinking, it happened in Japan. And we're probably all fortunate that this plane caught on fire in Japan, because Japan, let's face it, is very orderly, very organized. They kind of, they follow the rules over there. This is how they get on the train. This is a train station. The place is cleaner than some hospital emergency rooms. America, let's face it, we don't have our act together these days. Things are rough. And that's Philadelphia. You've seen, this is actually any city across America. Yeah, Japan has its drug problems, but not like we do. And have you noticed Americans are just acting up big time, especially at the airport and on airplanes?
Fist flying as a fight breaks out between separate the men. This video showing one of the men trying to explain what happened. Men were removed from the plane. It comes after that terrifying mid-air attack. A
Passengers fighting the ticket counter people. Just, we are a little bit out of control. Right now, I don't think that would have worked. Do you? Would Americans have been as organized, maybe after September 11th, right? September 12th, that day we were all together. But we're not together anymore. We're a big, angry mess right now as a country. And you can see it when you travel, actually. People are mad. I don't know why. Actually, air travel, even in these conditions, it's actually great. You're at 35,000 feet with a Diet Coke or a cocktail, if you prefer. Sure, you're jammed in there, but you're making a journey to London or to Los Angeles or to Birmingham in a matter of hours when it took months to get there. 200 years ago, years. People died on the journey. So where does this bring us? I'm going to get to Jeffrey Epstein, actually, in all of this, but the ultimate status symbol in America right now is the private jet. You know, when you think about it, everybody has everything. If you have a phone, you got all the gadgets you need. Look at rich people, look at poor people. All they're doing is hanging around on their phone. But a jet, well, you got to be genuinely rich to have a jet. Warren Buffett, very bright guy, right? Did very, very well. A billionaire. There he is on his jet. He spoke about this. He actually points out that the rich people the middle class people of today live like the kings and queens of about 40 years ago. Check it out.
You know, they've got air conditioning in summer, and I got air conditioning. They got heat in winter, and almost everything. So any importance in daily life, we equate on it. The one thing I do is I travel a lot better than they do. You know, net jets. So the travel I do a lot easier than they do. Everything else in their lives, it just, you know, I'll switch places anytime. It doesn't make any difference.
He's talking about people with lesser means, regular people. He lives in an ordinary house. He drives his own car. He eats at McDonald's. The thing that sets him apart, his money, what does he do with it? He travels very well. And that's what people want. They want the status. They want the comfort. And I think that's kind of why a lot of them go into politics. Look, Bill Clinton, he still misses Air Force One.
First time I ever got on an airplane, after I left the Oval Office. Boy, what a bummer. Somebody said, when do you really know you're not president anymore? They don't play a song when you walk in a room. And you're back on commercial air travel.
Very charming, but he wasn't on commercial air travel for long. He hates it. He hates it. Air Force One. So he lives for private jet travel. All these people do. They can't actually afford it. To really afford a private jet, you got to be a mega billionaire. These people, they're not that rich. So they will make all kinds of concessions, all kinds of weirdo deals to get on these jets, from politicians to people like, well, who else? Who's that? That's Floyd Mayweather. Maybe he can afford it. In the bathrobe. Beyonce. Maybe I think she might even be a billionaire. We talked about Buffett, Warren Buffett. How about this? You know who's really into it? Kamala Harris. Watch.
But drip is what I do. And one of these days, I'm sorry for dripping.
This was a dopey TikTok video she made while she was running for vice president. And now that she's Veep, look at it. They put this stuff out all the time. Look at Kamala getting on a jet. Her social media team takes a picture of her. This is not like the news. This is her PR people putting this stuff out. Look at me. I'm powerful. I get my own plane. This is getting kind of unhealthy. And Jeffrey Epstein is going to fit in a moment. This is one of the reasons why everybody hates, on the left, Trump, especially the powerful people on the left. Donald Trump has had his own plane since 1983 with his name on it. It's his own. He likes it. He even had a helicopter in the 80s, and he had it, well, he still has it. A helicopter. I mean, a helicopter? Yep. They were so madly jealous of him. And then he wins the thing, and he gets to fly around in Air Force One. So they can't stand that because the rest of these wannabe billionaires, they really do, but they're not. They have to make deals with people like Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. Here's the thing. You heard about the list that came out, and Bill Clinton's name is all over it. Let me tell you about Bill Clinton. I know that quote. They said, oh, he likes them young. I don't think he was hanging around Jeffrey Epstein for the girls. You know what I was thinking? I think he was doing? It was because of this. The plane. Jeffrey Epstein had a plane. And this is one of the things that he would kind of hold out there and make celebrity friends, make powerful friends. That's something that's been overlooked in a lot of this. There's also the matter of his death. The media think they have it all figured out, don't they?
We know he committed suicide in 2019 as he himself was facing federal charges.
Epstein committed suicide in 2019 while in custody.
Many of them previously linked to Epstein before his suicide in 2019.
I mean, a lot of people are not convinced it was a suicide, all right? I mean, it was the weirdest thing in the world. The cameras malfunctioned at just the right time, at just the time the guards fell asleep. Are you kidding me? It's crazy. His whole life is actually crazy and weird and mysterious. You know, he didn't graduate from college, yet he became a math teacher at the most prestigious private school in New York City, a place called the Dalton School, right? They're very snooty. You got to have a college degree, preferably from an Ivy League school. He didn't have that. Here's something also pretty weird. Jeffrey Epstein was hired at that school by a guy named Donald Barr, the father of Bill Barr. Yep, the attorney general who was, well, ultimately in charge of the federal prisons where Jeffrey Epstein was found dead. Is that weird? It's totally weird. And Jeffrey Epstein, there are a lot of guys good at finance. I mean, he had a townhouse that's worth about $100 million. He had an apartment in Paris, right in the middle of the city, worth, they told me, like 200 million euros. His own island. This stuff, he didn't get this. I don't think he got this from just being good at finance, all right? And the airplanes, it wasn't just one, it wasn't two. He basically had an airline, including that 727, the so-called Lolita Express. How did he make all of that money? We have not figured it out. Was it an extortion plot? A lot of people believe so. And as far as Bill Clinton, he just didn't want to fly coach. Bill Clinton did not need Jeffrey Epstein to get girls. That's my opinion. I'm no big Bill Clinton fan, but I don't think he did the stuff that they're talking about. All right, now this. That judge, she was really shaken up. One of the guards was seriously wounded. This happened in Las Vegas. What a scene, huh? The judge was about to send the defendant to jail. Let's see here. The judge is okay. Judge Mary Kay Holtis, she's going to be fine. The defendant, he's in jail, 30 years old, attempted battery charge. He was declined probation. I believe he had a couple of felonies under his on his record. So the thing about this, it actually reminds me of Donald Trump. See, Donald Trump said some things on January 6th that you and I know are totally fine. You're allowed to say, let's fight for our country. You're allowed to say, you're allowed to have doubts about the fairness of an election. You are allowed to say and believe whatever you want in America. You really are. If you look at some of the indictments, you look at what Donald Trump said, they can never actually say that he told somebody to go to the Capitol and break windows and do any of that stuff, because he didn't. And look at this line here. The crowd at the Ellipse reacted to President Trump's words with calls for violence. Okay, that says Trump did not call for violence, all right? The reaction, he's not responsible. It is totally reckless of them to make the association. It's not reckless of me, however, to say this. That man in Las Vegas, I think he might have been inspired by, I don't know, listening to stuff like this for the past 3 years.
Charlottesville is also home to a defining moment for this nation in the last few years. It was there on August of 2017 we saw Klansmen and white supremacists
talking about America as a haven for white supremacy and the original sin of slavery and how critical race theory and all of our systems are inherently racist. Day in, day out, the media, Democrats, saying that we're something we're not. Who's paid the price for this? Cops, all right? We see it all the time, cops. They get hassled everywhere they go. And then now people, regular people, it's being taken out on regular people. Maybe even that judge. Just an idea, just a theory, but that judge might have been the victim of all of this vitriol and hatred, this fake stuff that's been generated by Democrats and the media. Now, unlike what they're doing to Donald Trump is speaking the truth, and the Democrats and the media are lying about this country, but they're trying to lock President Trump up. And as horrible as that stuff that they've been saying about America, talking it down, talking up racism, white supremacy, all that stuff that we defeated in this country, they shouldn't be arrested for saying it. It is, unfortunately, scratch that, is constitutionally protected free speech. And you can be wrong if you want. I'll be right back.